So how do I keep my desk setup looking so clean and so tidy all of the time? This is a question you guys have been asking me for a very long time, so I'm going to start the new year off here by just answering that for everybody in the best way that I possibly can, okay? Now, it's very minimal cost-wise for this, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the cheapest up to, I guess you could say, the most expensive part, right? Probably midway through. But let's go ahead and break this down. So, the number one first thing that anybody could do, I don't care what desk size you have or not, it will make your desk setup just feel better and look better at all times, and that is to declutter. Now, when I mention decluttering, some people are like, oh, it's easier said than done, which, trust me, for a long time I understood this, and I still struggle from time to time. But my number one rule of thumb when it comes to something at my desk is if, hey, I don't use this or don't touch this device for more than at least 2 days, a day to 2 days max, I'm like, okay, this doesn't need to be sitting on my desk. I move it elsewhere, throw it in a drawer, someplace close by. If it is something that I do use once a week or something, I'll put it close by. But you'll tend to notice there's a lot of things you could probably have at your desk that you just don't end up using. Now, when it comes to artwork and art designs and statues and figures, trust me, you could tell I'm a huge fan of that stuff. I do have a larger desk, and my studio is surrounded in this type of stuff. But if you do look at my desk, you'll notice they're towards the end of my desk where there's really nothing going on. It's kind of like a statement piece. Now, obviously, some desk candy is always appreciated, so go ahead and throw one or two on your desk if that's something that you're into. But if you have a device that you're not using tech-wise or something that's just sitting on your desk, put it away. Trust me, it'll help you just, one, it'll get rid of more dust, and two, it'll just make things kind of flow. Now, number two, this one was something I wasn't really planning on because I'm not someone who sits there and takes the time to like write in a journal or just write things down at all, which I really kind of want to work on this year. But the number one thing that I use is now I'm labeling a ton of stuff, okay? Labeling things. And what I use for that is this one $20 device known as the Nimbot. This thing has been an absolute lifesaver. So this little device is a thermal printer, and that means it requires absolutely zero ink to print anything, which is phenomenal because you're saving money on ink, no dealing with buying cartridges, and you know, that mixed with labels can get pretty expensive. The only thing that you do have to purchase in the future are going to be more labels, but they're pretty cheap. You get like 4 or 5 rolls for under 20 bucks. Now, I did mention the device itself is $19.99. It is sold in multiple different colors. I went ahead and grabbed the white and gray, and it has amazing app control. The application is completely free. Go ahead and download it on your phone if you want to, and you could do a ton of stuff with this app. You could use emojis. You could actually take a picture of something, and it will do its best to print it out. It's all in black and white, no color, obviously, because it is thermal, but to me, I don't care because I'm just using this to label. Now, what do I use this for specifically? Well, I do test and use a bunch of different gaming mice here, as well as keyboard switches when I'm doing builds, or I get a ton in from other companies. So what do? I take this little label maker and I will go ahead and name the switches, put them in their corresponding boxes, label the box. It's great. Same thing with these little pucks that belong to all of these mice. I found myself having multiple USB-C cables just pouring out of my PC with like 12 different pucks hanging out, which are the wireless receivers for the mice, and it was just getting obnoxious. When I had to swap a mouse, a lot of the pucks looks the same. I was getting confused at which went to which. Some are 4K, some aren't. It was a real pain. So what I did was I grabbed a multi USB hub, which is a 4-hubber. It sits in the back of my PC, and I have 4 USB-C cables. That's it, and that sits on the side of my PC. So I could use 4 mice at the same time here if I'd like to, and I label each one of these pucks so I know which puck corresponds to which mouse. It has saved me a ton of time. I don't know why I haven't done this sooner, but trust me, if you have this little label maker, one day you're gonna find yourself just labeling everything, okay? I even use it when I'm mailing packages for return address and to address, things like that. It's a lifesaver, and it's really cheap for 20 bucks, and it's a little tank. I've dropped it a couple times too. I don't suggest doing that, but I have, and it works. Now, moving on to the most expensive tool that I use here to keep things clean, and that is this multi-tool from Hoto. This looks like a lightsaber handle at first, but it's cool, but not that cool. One end you have a blower, the other end has a vacuum. This thing is USB-C powered, has multiple modes. It has the medium and fast mode here, and the fast mode is pretty insane. Like, I use this blower and I could throw a mouse like halfway across the desk. But it's just good. It's just so good for what they've built here. Again, it's a little pricey, but it's worth it in my opinion. Now, what I do with this is I use the blower to move all of the dust. So the stuff up top on the shelf, stuff behind the PC, or maybe even on these wall panels, even the monitors, keyboards, this thing has just amazing power to move all of that dust and debris. It also comes with multiple different nozzles for, I guess, I don't know how much air you want to, maybe be able to push out, how thin you want the nozzle to be for certain devices. And then on the other end, you have multiple different vacuum tools here, as well as brushes. And it's great. It's a great multi-tool that I use all the time, at least once a week here. So I'll use the compressed air here to just move all the dust, and I don't suggest blowing any air into your PC, so don't do that. And then I'll use the vacuum, just suck up all the dust that has fallen onto the desk, and that is it. This Hoto tool here gets the job done, and it's just so good at what it does. Now, I do use one more little bonus thing here from Hoto. This is a multi-tool set that they sell, not an absolute necessity for maybe someone to clean something, but I use this thing on a daily basis because I also have keyboards that I'm always tinkering with, or maybe smaller screws in a PC that you need to maybe open up or clean or whatever you have to do. It also has a bunch of different multi-tools inside that you could use, maybe like a scraper here to scrape some gunk off of your desk. And the best part is the screwdriver that it comes with is a little electrical screwdriver that is USB-C powered as well, with multiple different screw heads here, depending on what screws you need to deal with. And it charges right through the case itself. It's nice and thin and minimal. You go ahead and put this case in a drawer, plug it in someplace, and you're good to go. A bunch of multi-tools in here I think anyone could definitely benefit from if you need smaller screw heads. Okay, now we're in the cleaning end game here. I'm starting to feel like the ShamWow guy with this next product, but I'm going to tell you right now, it is another necessity that I just have to have here in my studio. And when it comes to things like cleaning not only my desktop, but cleaning things like my glass on my PC, as well as all of my screen real estate, all of my monitors here, even some of the lighting here in my studio, I use a company known as Whoosh. They take tech hygiene to the next level. I don't use things like Windex and Lysol. It's not meant for tech, so don't use that stuff. Now I use Whoosh because I've used other companies before, but they have the most consistent stuff being dropped at all times, and their stuff just works, and it's really affordable. So let's go ahead and over the certain products that I do use from Whoosh and why I use them. So the first thing that I use from them, when it comes to my desktop, after I've vacuumed everything, I like to use their Sanitec here. Now this is a multi-surface solution here. Now I don't spray this directly on my desk. I spray it onto a microfiber cloth they also include with their purchase, and I wipe down my desk with that, and that keeps my desk looking pretty dang good. Then when it comes to the glass as well as the monitors, I move on to their Screen Shine product here. This stuff is odorless, it is clear, it is just some of the best stuff here. I'm telling you, you go ahead and spray this into a microfiber cloth as well. Go ahead and wipe down your screens or your glass. Make sure your tech is all turned off. I would suggest that. And then obviously, again, don't spray directly onto your tech. Spray it onto the microfiber cloth. Follow the instructions, all right? Go ahead and wipe down your screens. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the shine that it gives on your screens, it's like a crystal window. I'm telling you, like you just pulled the monitor out of the box yesterday. It is some of the best stuff that I used. And one more thing, this is their Screen Shine wipes, and these are also disinfectant wipes. I know a lot of you savages out there like take your mobile devices onto the toilet with you, and you're playing some, I don't know, whatever, Candy Crush, Pokemon Go, whatever you're doing. When you're done doing your business in there, you wash your hands, right? Well, you do yourself a favor. Start to clean your phone, okay? Even when you go out amongst the world, you're opening up doors, and you're just getting smudges of your fingerprints full of bacteria all onto your phone. This thing will desanitize your screen and also make it crystal clear and clean your mobile devices, tablets, and so much more. Whoosh has been an absolute lifesaver here in my studio, as well as my everyday life. All of these products I've talked about today have been an absolute change in my everyday life. I strongly suggest it. Everything will be linked down below, like always, if you want to pick anything up. If you guys have any suggestions of other stuff I should use that you use, be sure to let me know down below in the comments. And if you have any questions, like always, again, the comment section. If you guys enjoyed the video, do me a huge favor, hit it with a big thumbs up and like it, as well as subscribe to the channel, as I'm trying to grow the community bigger and better, and I can do that with the help of you guys. I will have a desk tour coming very, very soon here for 2024, as well as a full-on studio tour this year, I promise. And that's it for me, guys. Most importantly, you all stay safe out there. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.